Genesis chapter 45. Joseph makes himself known. 1. By this time, Joseph could no longer restrain himself before all those who were there, and he cried out, "Let everyone out." Thus, no one else was present when Joseph revealed himself to his brothers. 2. And he began to weep so loudly that the Egyptians heard him, and the news reached Pharaoh's palace. 3. Then Joseph said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?" But his brothers were so astonished before him that they could not answer him. For, "Come closer," Joseph said to his brothers. As they approached, he said to them, "I am Joseph, your brother, the one you sold to Egypt." 5. Now, do not grieve or reproach yourselves for having sold me here, for it was to save lives that God sent me before you. 6. There have already been 2 years of famine on the land, and for the next 5 years there will be no cultivation or harvest. 7. But God sent me ahead of you to preserve a remnant on this earth, and to save your life with great deliverance. 8. So it wasn't you who sent me here, but God himself. He made me Pharaoh's minister, and made me administrator of the whole palace and governor of all Egypt. 9. Quickly return to my father and say to him, 'Thus says your son Joseph, God has made me Lord of all Egypt.' Come here, don't delay. 10. You will live in the region of Goshen, and you will be close to me, you, your children, your grandchildren, your sheep, your oxen, and all your possessions. 11. I will sustain you there, because there will still be 5 years of famine. Otherwise, you, your family, and all your flocks will end up in misery. 12. You are seeing with your own eyes, and so is my brother Benjamin, that it really is I who am speaking to you. 13. Tell my father how much honor you pay me in Egypt, and all that you yourselves have witnessed. And bring my father here quickly." 14. Then he threw himself weeping over his brother Benjamin and embraced him, and Benjamin also embraced him, weeping. 15. Then he kissed all his brothers and cried with them. And only then did his brothers manage to talk to him. 16. When it was heard in Pharaoh's palace that Joseph's brothers had arrived, Pharaoh and all his counselors rejoiced. 17. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Tell your brothers to put the burdens on their animals. Go back to the land of Canaan." 18. And return here, bringing your father and their families. I will give you the best of the land of Egypt, and you will be able to enjoy the abundance of this land. 19. Send them also to take chariots from Egypt to bring their wives, their children, and their father. 20. Do not worry about your possessions, for the best of all Egypt will be yours. 21. So did the children of Israel. Joseph provided them with chariots, as Pharaoh had commanded, and also supplies for the journey. 22. Each gave a change of new clothes, but Benjamin gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of new clothes. 23. And to his father he sent 10 donkeys laden with the best of what was in Egypt, and 10 donkeys laden with wheat, bread, and other provisions for the journey. 24. Then he said goodbye to his brothers, and as they departed, he said to them, "Do not fight along the way." 25. So they departed from Egypt and returned to their father Jacob in the land of Canaan. 26. And they gave him the news, "Joseph is still alive. In fact, he is the governor of all Egypt." Jacob's heart almost stopped. I couldn't believe them. 27. But when they told him all that Joseph had told them, and seeing Jacob, his father, the chariots Joseph had sent to fetch him, his spirit revived. 28. And Israel said, "Enough. My son Joseph is still alive. I'll see you before I die."